Hi, I'm Dan Symons, the President and CEO of C3 Metals, and I'm here to give you the top 3 takeaways of our press release we had this week on August 11th with the results from our district-scale 3D IP survey at our Bellows Gate project in Jamaica. You may remember that our Bellows Gate project in Jamaica is where we've identified 14 porphyry prospects over an 18-kilometer strike extent. And this is where Freeport-McMoRan Exploration Company, a wholly owned subsidiary of Freeport-McMoRan, largest copper producing company in the world, has an earn-in agreement with us where they can earn up to 75% of the project by investing up to $75 million into the project. We embarked on drilling from late 2022 through mid-2024 with some pretty good results, but we could see that the potential high-grade cores of these porphyry systems were going to be at depth. So that meant we needed to drill deep to try and vector in towards those higher grade portions of the system. And by doing that, you know, that's a lot of capital when you're talking about deep drilling for a little junior. And at that time, we were like a 15 million US market cap. So we brought in a major company to partner with us on this project. And if we're going to drill deep, we need to see deep. So we embarked on a 3D IP survey. This gives us reliable chargeability and conductivity data down to a kilometer at depth. Previous IP data over this project area was over 16 square kilometers, whereas this survey was actually planned for 70 square kilometers. And we expanded that 18% to 82.5 square kilometers because we were identifying new prospects that we couldn't see that were previously undercover as we were getting that data back in real time. So that's a positive. So the first takeaway, survey went really well, reliable data, down to a kilometer, chargeability, conductivity, and that's really going to allow us to rate and rank and vector which of these systems have the deepest roots to them. The second takeaway is we've now combined this data, this new data, with existing magnetic geophysics, surface alteration, existing previous drilling, and geochemistry to design an 11-hole, 10,800 meter program. And this program is expected to kick off in October of this year. We have the drill contractor identified. We expect the rig to be mobilized to Jamaica here by the end of August. Clear Customs will get it up to site and start drilling in October. And that'll take us through till about April of 2027 to complete that program. So that's the second takeaway. We're very systematic with the way we're going about this, letting data drive decisions on where we're going to be plugging deep holes into these systems. And then the third takeaway I'd like you to take away from today is, you know, we were in a completely different market environment for how the market was valuing drill bit news from late 2022 to mid 2024 when we were previously drilling. And I think if we had been putting out these types of results in the current market environment, they would have come across much more favorably. Things like at our Connors porphyry prospect, we intersected 309 meters of 0.44 copper and 0.33 gold from only 15 meters downhole. 79 meters of 0.71 copper, 0.49 grams per ton gold from 128 meters downhole. And that included 46 meters of 0.95% copper and 0.69 grams per ton gold. At our Camel prospect, we had several intercepts, near surface intercepts, 179 meters of 0.37 copper, 0.16 gold, from only 10 meters downhole, 108 meters of 0.42 copper, 0.26 gold from 6 meters downhole. Our Provost porphyry prospect, which arguably with the results from the survey has become the #1 ranked target, where we saw things like 281 meters of 0.37 copper, 0.21 grams per ton gold, including 62 meters of 0.5% copper and 0.39 grams per ton gold as we were continuing down that hole. So the grade was getting better at depth. We've had multiple holes from previous drilling end in mineralization due to depth limits on previous drill rigs. And now we're going to have a drill rig here that has the capability of drilling 1,500 meter holes if necessary. Most holes are designed at 1,000 meters, but if we're in mineralization, we can just let it run. And I think it's really important to understand, you know, the different zones that we're seeing in these porphyry systems. We believe we're high level in the system because when we're seeing that kind of average 0.4% copper, 0.2 grams per ton gold, we're seeing the ratio of pyrite, you know, the pyrite shell of a porphyry system, we're seeing the ratio of pyrite to chalcopyrite around 5:1. And as we've transitioned down these holes and get deeper down to about 500 meters vertical depth, which was about the limits of the previous drilling, We've seen that ratio go down, pyrite to chalcopyrite, closer to 1:1. That means the grade comes up, and we've seen our first sniffs of some bornite mineralization, which of course is a higher grade copper sulfide mineral. So we're going to be drilling beneath existing mineralization where we have strong magnetics, strong chargeability, strong conductivity, good geochem. We know there's mineralization there. We're really excited to get this going and start answering the question on the depth potential and see if we can locate the higher grade cores of these porphyry systems, similar to what they did at Filo de Sol, that now is of course an asset 50% owned by BHP and Lundin Mining in Argentina, where it was known for 20 years. They vectored in on the high grade core of the system, and it completely changed the game, and we're hoping to do the same thing here with this drilling. So stay tuned.